Welcome back to Genius Hack, and
You
that
did
is
it.
how it's done.
I'm sorry.
But we were talking before the break anyway about upcoming tech, or not upcoming
Yeah.
tech, sorry, upcoming general sciencey things.
Yeah.
And you were talking about like the likes of non-animal necessary meats and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was watching a really interesting thing the other night. What I'll do again, I'd forgotten to do this actually last week after. No, I did after the Christmas episode. I did do this. But what I'll do, and I said we're going to do it in future, is put up like information on where we got these articles from, because there's a video.
Yeah.
I'll post it on our Facebook page after this episode. It's a video of this guy goes around and he tries these meats. Now, we had a little bit of a discussion earlier off the air where you were saying maybe you wouldn't be into this, but for some people who maybe, you know, it's not a health reason that they're vegetarian or vegan. It's literally just in their mind they don't want to eat something that comes from a dead animal.
Yeah.
For them, say you get someone who really likes steak, really likes meat, chicken, stuff like
And
that.
the flavour.
And the flavour and the texture. They like the whole experience of eating meat. Because food is an experience at the end of the day. It's not just about the flavour. It's not just about that. It's an experience. Food, if you're a big, we're both big food people.
Yeah.
Food is an experience.
Keeps you alive.
Yeah, it's great for that too. Yeah, I've heard it does that.
Yeah, it has some bonuses, I think. Now, it could be a myth. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll do an episode on that.
Does food actually keep you alive? we just won't eat for a week and then we'll see what happens. If there's no episode the next week, then you know what happened. But like what they've done is they're using cells essentially from actual animals. So they're using actual, say, cow cells or chicken cells or whatever, and they are using that to create meat. Now, one of the big companies that are doing it, I cannot think of the name of them off the top of my head. Again, it'll be in that video. But what they're doing is, their way of doing it, they're focused very much on, again, the experience, the bite, the taste, the texture, the whole thing. So for them, what they've started on, because they find it very hard in terms of forming the structure of actual meat. So they were saying, like, trying to make like a steak would be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Try to make something that looks like a chicken breast would be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And they were saying, look, they don't want it to look like something that was just stuck in a mold, pressed. And it's okay.
Because it's going to look fake.
Yeah. So they want this to look like real chicken fillets and real mincemeat and stuff.
Yeah.
They can get that to that point, mincemeat.
Yeah.
So it's great for burgers, it's great for spaghetti bolognese and stuff like that. So that's where they are with it right now. And they got the guy to try it, and he was surprised by it. He said, like, it was actually quite good. What they made him was a chicken nugget. The chicken nugget looked a bit weird. On the outside, it was great, says the vegan.
I mean vegan chicken nuggets. There's loads of them out there now, and it makes me so happy.
So on the outside, it was breaded like a normal breadcrumb kind of thing. It just looked like a fast food chain that we won't say the name of. It's chicken nuggets. So your guy took it and he broke it in half and tried it. And he said the texture was wrong. He admitted straight away. He said the texture's off. He said it doesn't feel like chicken. He said it's too
rubbery.
Sorry?
Rubbery?
No. He basically said it wasn't dense enough.
Okay.
It was because it was very aerated. It kind of looked like an arrow in a weird way on the inside.
Weird.
Yeah, if you don't know what an arrow is, like a bubbly chocolate bar thing. But it kind of looked like the inside of that. It was sort of it was aerated. Do you know actually kind of no? Do you know a better example of what it looked like? It didn't look like an arrow. It looked like when you get fresh baked bread.
Yes.
And you break it in half, and the inside is very aerated.
Holes,
it's loads of holes.
Yeah.
It's not a million miles away from it, like an arrow.
Okay.
But that kind of thing. That's what it looked like on the inside. And he said it tasted a lot like chicken.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel.
It didn't match.
Yeah. But he said if it was up between this and eating like a vegetarian one, this is obviously better.
Yeah.
And then he tried. They also showed beef, like mince. They called it ground beef, being American. But they like had mincemeat, and he said, "Look, we can make mincemeat, no problem, like mince beef." And he said, "It's fine, it's perfect, it's actual proper mince beef.
That's mad.
It's incredible." But then he went to somewhere in Europe. He went and he tried. He actually got a bit of steak. This was the first batch of this they had made, and it was actually like a little lump of steak. If you've ever seen like minute steak, where it's quite thin.
I do. I know it. Yes,
it's
quite
quite
like slivers.
thin. Yeah, it's quite thin piece of steak. It was kind of that sort of thickness and about the size of a credit card. That was the only, because they're still trying. They're a little bit ahead of these American guys in terms of making it actually properly feel and look like meat.
Okay.
And look like a steak. So this looked like a little sliver of steak.
Yeah.
And they got like a professional chef, like a really high end chef, to do it up, and he fried the whole thing, and he put it on the plate, and your man tried it. And he said, it's actually quite good. He said, I'm not going to stand here and, blow smoke and say it's the best steak I've ever had. He said, it's not. He said, it's not the worst steak I've ever had either. He said, it actually was.
Steak. It's a very good steak.
He said, for something that's not steak. And it made me think, and he actually goes on to talk about it in the video. It was like, say, countries like Ireland, like we're known for our beef. We're world renowned for our beef.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. It's all grass fed. It's really, really high end stuff.
Yeah.
But the Japanese are also really well known.
True.
Wagyu is like a very, very, it's their like high end beef.
Yeah.
People have heard of Kobe beef.
Yeah.
Kobe beef is a type of Wagyu. It's just that region. So they want to go and actually get cells from, Wagyu cows, like those types of cows, and replicate that. And they were kind of saying, look, if we can get it, because right now they're saying they're sort of 60-70% there is kind of where they feel they are. But they were kind of looking at it as if they can get 60-70% of the way to a Wagyu steak, they're still probably better than most steaks you're going to go into the supermarket and buy.
That's mad.
It's incredible. Like,
no cow had to die.
Exactly, that's the thing. Because I know I know a lot of people who are maybe vegan, not for ethical reasons, but for just sort of, they have their reasons. This is why they do it, or whatever. Who are really strict would kind of look at that and go, well, it's still an animal product.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, it's still an animal product, but no animal has to die.
Yeah.
And in theory, if you just went to a normal farm, just a standard farm where they were just kind of, they had cows running around, maybe it's a petting type thing, something like that, you could go and actually create steaks without ever having to do anything. You literally take a cell sample, DNA sample from the cow. That's all you have to do. And realistically, they can take enough DNA from that one cow that they can have just an absolute load of this stuff ready to go. So nothing has to die, nothing has to suffer. It's completely, realistically, it is as humane as you could ever possibly get while still eating meat.
And it would mean that the cows wouldn't have to be mass produced.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have to have cows in these awful conditions or anything like that. And then, like, the environmental problems that having, like, an abundance of cows, like, causes. It would be really good if we saw this in the future. Because, I mean, all those slogans like, oh, the future is vegan. And it's not
true.
It's not really a lie in terms of sustainability, because at this moment in time, our whole environment, our ecosystem is not sustainable with the level of meat production that we have, with the numbers that we have, and
we overdo it. We consume way too much meat. Even and I'm a big meat eater. I was talking to you earlier about this. Like, nothing would convert me away from eating meat, because it's just, for me, as I said, food to me is an experience, and it's an experience I enjoy. I will even fully admit we eat way too much meat. Our consumption is way too high. There's way too much wastage as well.
There's too much waste, and there's so much water needed to sustain these businesses.
So I'd be all for this.
Yeah, it would be really good.
Not even from, again, as I've said, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian or even curious about being one. But
new Seán?
I would, no.
Carrot?
Yes, the slightly less meat maybe.
Tofu steak.
But for me, if I was in a position where someone was to come up to me and say, look, we have this beef substitute, it's not even a substitute, it is basically beef, as they're referring to it as clean meat, because a lot of meat providers and stuff have come out and said, look, if you can't, we need a way to be legally distinct here. If you call that meat, that could damage our business because it's not meat. And they were like, okay, so in a lot of states and stuff, just even take moral stuff, take all of that out of the way, just look at this as a business.
As a legal
absolutely makes sense. It would be literally like someone coming out tomorrow and saying, oh, we're a company, we're going to make phones, we're going to call them the iPhone. Like, no, you can't do that.
It's a large case I, though.
It's an uppercase.
Large case. What am I saying? Uppercase.
It's a large case.
Because I was going to say a big I, but then that wouldn't make sense. So then I was going to say a large I, but still wouldn't make sense.
So you're basically saying the same thing. But so if someone was able to come up to me and say, look, this is a really genuinely good alternative, I'd give that a shot. Like, I would be.
You heard it here, You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here, folks. First,
you heard folks here.
we haven't got any folk music on the playlist. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. I think the fact that, you know, that this exists is good. And if someone came up to me and said, look, this new brand has come into the shops, we guarantee you it tastes like a steak. If you went to if you've two beside them, this is a real steak, this is one of these, you know, lab grown things.
Yeah.
It tastes the same, nutritionally has the same value to it. All the stuff is the same.
Yeah.
I would absolutely 100% of the time go, okay, I'll try this one, because it is, in terms of the environment and in terms of a lot of other things, it is better.
I was about to say I'd love to do a blind taste test, but that would mean that I'd have to eat actual cow and fake cow. And I was like, oh wait, no. That's
well, I'd do it.
Yeah, you can. Let me know.
Blind taste test, and I'll be the one to sit here and do it. But no, I would. I genuinely, like, you know, I'm not, as I've said, I'm a meat eater, but I'm not blind to the negative effects of it. You know,
that's
of course.
Good, though.
But it's the same thing of, like, we drive cars around and there's extremely negative consequences to driving cars around, but everybody does it. You know?
We turn such a blind eye to so many environmental effects. I'm just like, recycle.
Yeah, we do.
I'd love an electric car, to be honest.
Yeah, so would I.
Oh,
I don't drive, but yeah, so would I. I'd drive if I knew I could get one.
Yeah.
But no, I like that, and I know we've stayed on this one topic for quite a while, but I think it's a good one.
To be fair, the theme was future, and we are talking about a lot about the future and the environment and the future of food consumption, really. Yeah,
and this is it's going to be, I think, a big topic.
Definitely.
Down the line.
Because this is kind of like, we were talking about kind of more futuristic things, like being able to see our dreams, but this is very topical at the moment. It's more tangible. Like, you can keep up to date on advancements in food technologies and how bigger companies are trying to reduce their carbon footprints. And because we are very environmentally conscious, we should be more. We as a people are becoming more environmentally conscious, and going into the future, you need to be, because I mean, we're looking at Mars, but like, let's mind Earth.
Let's come back here first.
Let's see if we can try and fix what we've done.
And I think this.
Thanks, Industrial Revolution.
Hey, we wouldn't be doing this show.
No.
Thanks, Industrial Revolution. But no, I think this whole thing, to go back to the lab grown meat type of thing. When you say, for some reason, when you say lab grown meat, it does sound weird. It sounds wrong.
I'd say it would have to be marketed differently.
Yeah, you can't have lab grown meat slapped on the front of it.
It's like, because as we have the internet and we were able to educate ourselves a little bit more, you do become more aware of chemicals. And even in recent years, particularly with meats and vegetables, people are like, is there pesticides on these vegetables? Were these cows fed hormones? Because we've seen the effects of pesticides and hormones being given to, like, pesticides on veggies and hormones given to animals, the severe negative effects it has on our bodies. Because we're not supposed to have these hormones, and they do transfer, and especially if the animals are eating grass that has gotten pesticides on it and things like that. So we are becoming far more aware of the chemicals we're putting in our bodies. So I think lab-grown meat will probably need a catchier name.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, anything like that's kind of human-made like that, there's always going to be possibility for issues.
Yeah, and skepticism.
There's always going to be one company that makes it who decides, if we sneakily put this in it, it will make bigger steaks and they'll be juicier. Okay, it might kill people down the line, but look, it'd be grand.
It's a carcinogen.
Yeah, like, that kind of stuff's going to happen. Yeah. I think you have to accept that those types of things happen because companies try to make money how they can.
Yeah.
But realistically, I think one of the great things about this idea of lab-grown meats is it addresses an issue that I think people overlook when it comes to, like, as you said, this whole, the future is vegan thing. I've seen people wearing these T-shirts and everything.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, and I think realistically, one thing that is missing, and we've interviewed people on D15 today who've been on to talk about vegan food and stuff like that, and you hear them talking about it, and I love to listen to people talk about that kind of stuff. And one thing again that they constantly it kind of brushes over is it's fine. You can still, like, eat a lot of the stuff you want. You can still, like, enjoy all this stuff. But no, because I enjoy eating what I eat. You know, and a lot of these solutions for, oh, go vegan, it's fine, there's still really tasty food, there's still this, there's still that. Yeah, there is still really tasty food, but not the really tasty food I want to eat.
Yeah.
And it's almost like kind of saying, you know, okay, you can't drive your car anymore, but you can still get around. There's still loads of ways to get around. Yeah, but the car is more convenient at the minute. Or like, you know, you can't use Windows anymore, but you can still use computers, but I haven't got a clue how to use Mac. You know, it's like, it's not really a solution in the sense that, okay, yes, there is other things that you can eat. You could change to a vegan diet and there's other things you could eat. But
the whole thing
that's true, but I can't eat steak. I can't eat proper chicken. This addresses that, I think.
But the whole thing of the future is vegan, it's not more people are going to choose to go vegan, it's because we've destroyed the planet and we have no choice.
Oh no,
That's
I know that. Yeah, no.
It's not people changing their minds. Like
no, I get that.
Which more and more people are.
I do understand that that's what that's coming from. But I mean just in general when you're talking to the people who are, you know, promoting a vegan diet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's one thing they constantly do overlook is the fact that, well, people who like eating meat like eating meat.
Yeah, but so I used to love eating meat.
Yeah, but I still do, favorite. And I want to continue to do so.
I know, but I mean, like people change their minds and things change their minds.
Oh yeah,
like that's where it comes from.
But this addresses the issue in a different way in that you don't have to change your mind. You don't have to compromise things you enjoy to do.
No, exactly.
You know, it's like I don't. You know, it's not something I want to compromise. To be honest, as I've said, I enjoy eating meat. It is something I take pleasure in, but no, it is, and it's something I do, and I wouldn't want to stop doing it. It's like, you know, I like to exercise. I wouldn't want to stop exercising just because I find out that, you know, a certain exercise I do maybe isn't the best for a certain type of muscle growth. Yeah, but I like this type of exercise and I enjoy it, and I feel I'm getting fitter doing it. So it addresses the issue of some people just don't want to have to massively change their diet.
See, now that you've mentioned exercise, I'm like, why isn't there people out there saying, like, hey, here's an alternative to exercise? Because I hate exercise. I don't get endorphins. I feel miserable after I exert any kind of energy.
See, I'm the opposite. I love a bit of exercise.